Alright, hey everyone, it's Soup here. So as we all know, the Monster Hunter Wilds Hunting Horn weapon overview trailer has dropped. Everybody's pretty excited about it, myself included. I was gonna wait for more weapon trailers to drop because I do play all 14 of the weapons. However, I am a Hunting Horn main. Most people in this channel know that. So seeing as this one dropped, we're gonna talk about this one. I do have like 7,000 Hunting Horn usage, plus minus, in like World and Iceborne, and about 900 I believe in Rise and Sunbreak. So yeah, you can say I'm a pretty big Hunting Horn fan. But okay, this video is not going to be a first time reaction. I've seen the video. It's going to be more of a casual discussion and breakdown of the trailer to discuss some of the things we see, but everything is not going to be conclusive because we cannot see all the details. There's no UI or HUD for the game. We don't know how exactly it works. We can only see the animation, so we can only guess, right? But I'll try to use what knowledge I have on Hunting Horn to see what I can find from this video. Also, because this video is casual, I don't have to follow a script. That's why you can hear my voice, as opposed to the normal AI voice that you're used to in my guides. Now, anyway, how I'm going to do this video is I'm going to watch it from the front to back, and we will watch each scene, and then we'll discuss about each scene individually, and then maybe go back if we miss any details, and then right. Okay, let's start. Alright, right off the bat, the introduction there. Nothing special. We saw the neutral unsheath here, right? Neutral unsheath. Although it's nothing special, but it does get me wondering, right, whether we still get that new unsheath, the forward unsheath. It's a bit faster than the neutral one, and it's the one in Rise and Sunbreak where you don't immediately draw attack with a note, so that you can kind of draw and then choose your note. So I'm not sure if that is back, because this neutral unsheath here got me wondering. Alright, this is just a neutral performance. Nothing special. Okay. Nice. Okay, so first scene. First scene, there's a lot to look at, right? We first saw he ran around and then he did a draw attack, right? With the forward smash or forward slam, as most people know. We can try to see here whether he's using the draw. I can't really tell, right? It's very hard to tell from here, but it does look like he immediately draws into a forward slam. So I'm not sure if the new the new unsheath is back. He could be pressing it very quickly, I don't know. So unsheath, and then a note kind of comes out here, right? You can see this note comes out here. Could be normal, I don't know, but we'll have to play to find out whether the new unsheath is still there. Okay, forward slam got a KO. That's a right performance with a shockwave. We saw a shockwave when he did that. Boom. Alright. Now, right performance in World is not very advisable for you to use right performance, but I'm not sure how applicable it is here because it's a new game. They might have made it worth it. Okay, another main difference here is that as he uses the right performance usually ends with the horn behind you. But this one, now he's pointing the horn forward, so that's new. So it could make it more useful. Okay, so here we see a lot of things. First of all, we saw him perform and then he swing again and swing again. Now, naturally we assume that's an encore, and then another encore, so double encore. right? So now, naturally, we think it's an encore because we're used to it, and I'm glad that encores are back, obviously, right? But what I'm not sure here is, because we cannot see the UI, I'm not sure if he's doing an encore to replay the same song, you know, like how we usually replay one melody and then we press encore again to replay the same melody. Or maybe it works a little bit differently in Wilds. Maybe he's cycling through different melodies instead. Like, you know how in World you can store 3 melodies and then you play and it cycles through 3 of them. However, in World, when you play, if you're just cycling through them without doing the encore, it doesn't perform another attack when you move through the list, like from the first song to the second song. So there's a big downtime there. Let's say you're trying to play 3 melodies at once and then you use it as an attack, right? Unless it's an echo wave, which deals damage. If you're playing anything other than an echo wave, it doesn't do any damage when the melody is playing, only during the initial swing and then the encore, right? So what I can see here right off the bat is that each melody seems to act like an echo wave there. That means, right, after, it's not just the initial swing, but during the playing phase, you get like, you know, sound blasts or shock waves kind of stuff coming out. So it's probably like a new reworked echo wave. So that's good, right? It decreases the downtime by having damage come out between while you're playing the melody. And then now the encore seems to be a single swing here this time. No, this is the second encore. Sorry, I remember it was once, yeah, and then twice, right? 2 hits. Okay, one thing to note here is that he flashes each time he plays, right? That's normal, you know, when you receive your buff. So right performance, boom, okay, the hunter also flashes, and the shockwave as well. So it seems like it's dealing damage and he's applying some kind of buff. Yeah, important to note that, you know, in World, when you play echo waves, you still flash even if you don't get buffs. But I'm assuming here he's getting a buff, and then a single swing. Shockwave seems to come out after. Right, okay, for the second encore with the double swing, it seems like the shockwave comes out right at the second swing rather than after wait. So, look at that again. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. Right, the sound wave comes as the swing is finished. So, I'm not sure if that swing looks a little bit like the melodic slap. Does it? I didn't play enough Rise melodic slap to know that, but never mind. Okay, so bear with me because I'm quite detailed when it comes to this kind of thing, so I will do a breakdown a little bit slower than other people, right? Okay, let's move to the next scene. Alright, here, the second scene, we see place echo bubbles to grant special effects in an area. Now, echo bubbles aren't exactly new. They come from Iceborne, where you place a tiny bubble. Yeah, I say tiny because it's like 1 hunter size, right? It can become a little bit bigger with an encore if you stack multiple, but, you know, it's still very small. For that one, it's mainly for buffs only. There are 4 types. The white one gives you speed and evasion. The green one gives you health regeneration. The red one gives you elemental resistance and attack. And the yellow one gives you stamina, right? And it refills your stamina and gives you max stamina. But here, we only see the trailer. We don't know how many types there are. But based on what they say here, grant special effects, it might still provide beneficial buffs to you and your teammates who enter the bubble. But what we can see here, the bubble has also been repurposed to be very offensive. It creates a shockwave, like the moment it's deployed, it dealt damage. Right, 38 damage when it's deployed, flinched the monster. Okay. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say another thing. While aside from the bubble itself, it seems like we have a unique performance specific for this effect. It looks very funny. It's like dancing around like a Sakai. So he He raises the horn up, kind of like the quick performance, but yeah, it seems like a new unique performance meant for this bubble. Okay, without talking too much about it, let's move to the next scene. Alright, so that was the other scene, the third scene. Okay, so now let's go back and look at it. Now, as we said, right, the echo bubbles have been repurposed to be more offensive, and it seems to create a shock wave each time you play a melody or even your basic attacks. Each swing you do, it will create a shock wave, and that's not exactly the same, but a little bit like the beat of resonance in Rise, where, you know, it reacts to your performances and deals like shockwave damage. Now here, it seems like the echo bubble area is larger, meaning to say there's more than one. He might have placed, is it 2 or 3? I can't really see completely, but it's more than one, right? It's big. Now, as you can see, each time he swings, he's not hitting the monster with the swing, but he's taking 7 damage. So that 7 damage comes from the shock wave, as you can see, the white effect each time he swings, right? And then the echo bubble will create some kind of shock wave. Now, it seems like there are 2 shock waves here. So each echo bubble does react to your attacks and performances, but it looks like he's taking only 1 tick of damage. So maybe you can place more than 1 bubble to basically expand the coverage, the area, but maybe only 1 hit. It doesn't do multiple hits. Maybe, or maybe I'm wrong because we can't really see it properly here. So let's see, he swings 7 damage, 7 again. You see, there's not multiple hits, but it does show multiple like sound explosions from each one, you see. Yeah, zoom zoom, right? But it's just 7. Seems like it's lower when you do basic attacks because it's only 7 here. And then, speaking of basic attacks, one thing very important to notice is this. He did a right swing into a back slam. Okay, wait, right swing, back slam. This one is a flourish, you know, the double note swing. Now, the flourish is back, basically. This was gone in Rise. This allows you to insert a second note during the second swing, so two notes at once. So the flourish is back. However, the important thing I want to talk about there is the right swing into back slam. Why is it important? Because in Rise, they actually changed it so that, you know, your basic attacks have fixed combo strings. You cannot just freely do a right swing into a, up to you want a super pound or a back slam. That was how it was in World. I think it's back here in Wilds, but in Rise, you have fixed combo strings, so your right swing can only go to super pound, or overhit smash basically. You can't go into a back slam or backward strike. So here it seems to be back. You can do a right swing, back slam, which is good because a lot of times during those openings, you can actually do right swing and then back slam as a combo, right? And then flourish, he didn't do 2 notes, but I'm pretty sure you can add 2 notes. Because the second swing here, it didn't glow, but I'm pretty sure you can do 2 notes. Alright, so okay. Alright, here he did a forward performance. He did the forward performance from neutral, meaning not after an attack, which is something I recommend people not to do in my World video, but that's in World, because in World, if you do the forward performance without like an attack before it, like the forward slam or the super pound, you're gonna have a very slow, you know, pointing animation to point the horn forward, right? But here, they still seem to have the animation, but it seems much faster, so maybe in Wilds, forward performance like that is not such a bad thing. Maybe it's viable. Right, it is pretty fast, at least a little bit faster. Now, it seems like it's still 2 hits, 1 from the horn hit and 1 from the shock wave. I'm just assuming the lower number is the shock wave. I might be wrong again, but yeah, 2 hits. And then, yeah, as I told you, now the performance doesn't only do damage during the swing itself, right? It also creates some kind of echo wave that deals damage it boomed twice, right? Boom, boom, we heard. So I think it's 2 hits. And then 46, maybe this one is from the bubbles. Like I said, it's only 1 hit, but it's higher damage. You know, previously during basic attacks, it was 7, right? Now it's either one of these, the 30 or the 46. Okay, second swing, multi-hit again. Right, 30, 30, 2 hits, but 9. Okay, you know, this is a bit confusing. But I guess I'll find out more about the details when the actual game or the demo comes out, when we actually get to play and we actually get to see the UI as well. But now it's a lot of guesswork, so I guess I shouldn't go too deep into this. Right, yeah, here with the second so-called encore that swings twice, hits and does multi-hit because the shockwave also comes out at the end of the swing. This 9 here is probably, yeah, I think it's a 9 that is actually the echo bubble reaction. Here, I don't know why. I think it's, let's see again, sorry. Let's watch again how many hits it does. Yeah, actually, I think it might be 3 explosions, and then it triggers an additional, you know, echo bubble. Yeah, it might be boom, boom. Okay, where's the echo bubble damage? Can't see it here, but never mind. Oh, one thing to notice as well. Unlike the first performance we saw in the first scene, where he flashed 3 times. Okay, sorry. Let me go back and we will have a look. Right, he did a right performance. He flashed, right? Boom, he flashed again, and then he flashed again. So he flashed for all 3 performances, right? So the first performance, the encore, and the second encore. But here it looks a bit weird. Notice this. Okay, fourth performance, no flash. What does that actually mean? Does it mean he don't need a melody to perform? Not sure. Or maybe it's just a melody that doesn't provide buffs. I don't know. Right? Okay, but he does flash here. And then he flashes again. Okay. So, again, can't tell, right? We don't know yet. Melody effects benefit your allies. Okay. Okay, nothing special here, just a neutral performance. Again, okay, you can see he does flash when he get the buff. It also provides the shockwave. That's why I say right now, even if you're playing a melody that provides buffs, you still get that offensive echo wave kind of thing going on with the horn. And I mean that by something that blasts after when you're performing, not the initial shockwave with the swing, right? Because as you swing, you already get, see, as you swing, the damage also comes with a shockwave. So 2 hits here, swing, shockwave, and then echo wave here. Now, the flash means he gets a buff. I don't see a flash on the female hunter here, so not sure. But I'm pretty sure it should be a team buff because they specifically put the scene here to say melody effects also benefit your allies. So I don't know why I don't see the flash. Maybe it's too subtle for me to notice. But one thing here, this scene is not that big of a deal because most people know the hunting horn buffs your allies, but I can see what Capcom is doing here. Previously, whenever there's a hunting horn like introduction, right, they will always talk about how hunting horn supports the teammates first, or you can buff your teammates and everything. And sometimes their trailer barely shows them hitting the monster. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. But here, it seems like at the very start, they talk about it being a blunt weapon that can, you know, perform melodies that give you buffs, but they showcase a lot of combat hitting the monster and everything first, and then only after 3 scenes of combat, they talk about, by the way, you can also buff your teammates. Now, it's not right or wrong about the support weapon thing. I don't really care about that. The important thing here is more about letting people know they can solo with this horn. Because when they first introduce it as you can buff your teammates, people might think that you are only supposed to use this to buff your teammates, right? You can't solo, but here, since they show a lot of solo, first, then they added down the road, by the way, you can buff your teammates. So I think it paints a better picture that you can use hunting horn to solo. And yeah, by the way, this is a flourish because he raises his leg when he does it. It's not a right swing, it's a flourish, just for your information. Now, right, okay, after the scene, nothing much, normal neutral performance. Okay, So after this one is the focus mode. We already know the focus mode. You aim and then you target those, you know, points that are already wounded. It will deal more damage. That's what the focus mode mechanic trailer talked about. And every weapon is going to have some kind of focus strike where you perform a special attack, right? So focus mode to target monsters' wounds and weak points. Now in this case, let's see. Alright, so as we know, it looks pretty cool. The animation is from Rise, where you do the Earth Shaker Silkbind attack. Now, actually, in all technicality, this animation came from World first. It's actually the weapon pose, where you strike the guitar kind of pose, but it was only a weapon pose. But in Rise, it was an attack, right? So, you kind of thrust the horn into the monster's face, and then you do only one strum with the guitar string. It will just do one big shockwave explosion. But here it seems like it's extended. You do multiple hits before the big explosion. So let's see again. Alright, a blunt hit, the first hit. It seems to leave the monster vulnerable, standing there, allowing you to attack. But here's the thing, I'm not sure whether it's a feature of this attack that guarantees the monster to stay still like that, or it's just, you know, in this scene, they're just to showcase the attack for you. So happens the monster just stays still, right? It's just a coincidence. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So it seems like it's 6 hits, 7 including the initial horn thrust. Again, I can't be sure. Yeah, sorry, my fast forwarding is a bit off because of the video's length. Now, with the aiming reticle, 1 hit, it's blunt, you can see the stars, and then as he pulls back. Now this one's a bit funny because he might have planted something inside here, because there's no, you know, the kunai and string attached like Earthshaker in Rise does. So I don't know how the damage is connected towards it, but when you play here, see, each time you play, it has also a shockwave here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 5 hits here, and then another big strum seems to be the big hit here. So yeah, I think it's like horn hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then blast. So it's like 7, right? So anyway, no big deal here. The recovery here, I'm not sure whether he can roll from this, or is it like Rise where you have to like slowly stand up after this move. But either way, it looks cool, right? Because you do the guitar pose. Okay. Next here. Okay. Right. Okay, 3 scenes back to back. That's the end. So okay, let's talk about the last 3 scenes. So this one, obviously animation wise, it looks like the Hunting Horn's clutch claw weapon tenderizing, right? You hit once and then you kick out and flip back. Now the thing is, right, tenderizing doesn't work like that in Wilds. You seem to just need to attack the same part to wound it. So I don't think it exists, you know, the clutch claw thing, hopefully. But maybe, at least from what I can see, it's just a guess, okay? I might be wrong. This is just the replaced mount finisher animation. Because I think mounting is still in Wilds, right? If I'm not wrong. Now, it seems like he's standing on top of the monster here. So he might be mounting. And then it's just a new finisher animation. Because in World, the mounting finisher is you go 1, 2, 3, you swing the horn, right? And then, you know, if it's on the head, it's 4 times, right? But here, they might have changed the animation to this 2-hit attack here. 1, 2, right, like the clutch claw. But the thing is, right, because of his position, animation does look a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie, because normally when you clutch claw, you're on the side of the face, you smack the horn in from the top, and then you kick it out, right? Now this one looks a bit funny because you slam it from, it's like from the back of the horn, and then the horn is still outside. Okay, anyway, nothing too big deal to talk about. I think you can see the monster is knocked down, so it might actually be a mount finisher. Now, okay, this attack though, this one is really interesting. Now this one, animation-wise, it's also what we know from Rise. Now I know some players who come from older games, this might be from an older game, or I think Monster Hunter Generations or something like that. I only play on PC, okay, so I don't know. I don't play other games that are not on PC. So I only know World and Rise animations. So this one looks very much like the Silkbind attack called Slide Beat. Or it could be Magnificent Trio, I'm not sure, because you kind of spin around and do put the horn behind you like that. But I think it's more of a Slide Beat. Now, see, yeah, I think it's a Slide Beat. And then when he did this, obviously at the end of the attack there's a big shockwave. I'm pretty sure this is probably like a big damage dealing attack. But one thing interesting to notice is you see the shockwave is traveling through to the back. It might be related to the bubbles lined up. I don't know how long the bubbles last actually. If it lasts very long, you can actually place it around everywhere and actually line up a whole line like that, which is going to be fun. So I'm not sure if the shockwave travels on its own or does it only travel through the bubbles, right? It looks like it's the bubbles because the bubbles are here. Now, you can see that it definitely hits more than once, because as after the initial flinch from the hit here, boom, as the shockwaves travel through the bubbles, it seems to still flinch the monster. I might be wrong. Again, it might be just a continuous flinching animation, I'm not sure. Now, this one's interesting. We don't know how it works. Does it interact with melodies, or is it just a shockwave damage kind of thing? But one thing interesting to note here is that he's using the bone horn. Not sure why, because throughout the entire video he's using the same metal horn here like that with the bagpipe and drum kind of thing. But I don't know why, out of nowhere, this one singular scene with the bone. Does it imply that this move can only be done with specific horns? You know, because we don't even know whether switch skills and that kind of stuff is back in Wilds, you know, because it seems like the moveset is quite there's quite a lot of moves, right? Not sure if you can actually fit all of that into a single moveset, so we don't know if we get to swap out or what. But I hope they're all in one actually, because it's fun to bring every move into one battle, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, now the last attack. Now this one is a bit interesting. It looks like some kind of parry from what we can see, but we can't be 100% sure. Like I said, we don't have the gameplay, but it sure looks like a parry. But if it's not, then maybe it's just an attack, or maybe it's hyper armor, or don't know. I'm not sure, but it looks like it's a two-step thing, right? The first step is a backward dodge, right? Back step, and then into a swing. And with a big effect like that, I think it might be a parry. Maybe it provides counter frames or iframes, I don't know. But so this attack seems to be powerful. I'm not sure whether it always flinches the monster, or is it just in this video. But let's look at the initial part first, because aside from the second swing that comes out, right, the interesting thing here is we notice when he stepped back with the back step, his character, it might be my eyes, I'm not sure, but I think he flashed a little bit here, right? So maybe there's iframes. Maybe you can actually dodge with this. So if there's no iframes, then you can only use the backstep for, you know, a positional dodge rather than an iframe dodge. Now, if there is though, then it's a lot of applications you can do to double bites, double attacks, because as you can see, this monster is also doing a double bite. First bite, dodge. Second bite, countered. Maybe that's what I see from here. But yeah, what do you guys think about the weapon? Are you guys excited? Because here's where I talk about some of my opinions. I think it's a nice thing that they kind of reverted the horn back to more of a world style, but they included some of the Rise aggressive animations. Now, because the thing about Rise is the hunting horn has been simplified a little bit too much mechanically, but the animations do look pretty good, right? So what they brought back from Rise in this Wilds horn seems to be most of the animation stuff, like for example this one, right? And also Yeah, this one. So you get the good animations from Rise, but you revert back to the world playstyle where you cue notes, play melodies, right? And then you get encores. Now I'm actually happy about that because I think performance and encore, these two things are very crucial. They're part of the Hunting Horn's identity. So I'm glad they're back. But I will admit, it's nice to have them in World, but they are definitely slightly on the slow side, right? So people who are new, they can't handle finding the opening to do an encore, right? So it seems like they kept the performances and encores, but they sped it up a little bit. It's a bit faster. So maybe it's you will find more openings to use it basically. And also, it seems like the Hunting Horn is going back to a more performance and shock waves kind of focus. We don't see the echo attack here. Echo attack is the one where you spin the horn, right? You plant it down and then you spin. We don't seem to see that here. Not sure if it's gone or is it just not shown. But at least from what I see, it's very performance based. I guess it's good because that's Hunting Horn is all about the sound and everything. But we'll see. Anyway, so that is my breakdown. It might be a little bit lengthy and detailed because I do like to dig into the things that I see. However, as we finish up the video here, that's all it is about the horn. But I do want to tell some of my viewers, because I think my viewers might be surprised to hear me using my voice this time, because viewers who know me and are used to my guides, they know that I always use the text-to-speech AI kind of voice for my guides, right? And all of a sudden, I'm using my voice here. Now, there's a reason behind it. It's a very personal reason, but at least that's my opinion, right? You can feel free to disagree, because I think everyone has their opinion and preference, right? So the reason I do this is because this video is a discussion. It's, first of all, more casual, and that allows me to freely talk without following a very rigid script, right? So I can just freely talk like that. And also another thing, I think it's important to hear my voice because I'm expressing an opinion in this discussion. So it's nice to be able to hear what I'm trying to express. But for guide type videos, at least to me, my opinion is that guides are more meant to provide you with information and knowledge. That's the main point of it. You don't actually need to hear like my tone and everything. It can be an added bonus, but in my case, it makes the video worse because for my guides, I write a very long and detailed script, right? And I actually have to follow the script. If I don't, you'll hear me yapping for another hour with all the stuttering and all that, right? But if I follow a very rigid script, I will struggle. I don't do so well with that. That's why I don't do that, because it adds a lot of additional work to check how my voice sounds. So I just stick to writing the script and then placing it to the the AI thingy, and it will just read whatever I wrote. And yeah, because actually writing the script actually takes a lot of time as well. It's a very, very long and detailed script. So I hope you guys actually don't mind why I always have the AI do the script for me, because I really do struggle reading directly from a script. But for this kind of like casual discussion, I have no issue. I can just talk to you guys casually because I don't read off something, right? So anyway, I don't want to drag the video for too long. This is just additional thing to talk about, because I'm sure some of you will be surprised to hear my voice, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Hunting Horn trailer and enjoyed this breakdown. If you notice more things that I didn't notice, please feel free to discuss it with me, because I might have missed out a few things myself, or some things that I've seen and then I forgot about it when I'm doing this video, because I'm very forgetful actually. So anyway, enjoy yourself and see you next time.